Now, the real portion of the United States, the legal portion of the United States, is only Washington, D.C., 68 square miles. Are you aware of that? That's the only true portion of the United States, 68 square miles. Now, since 1933, we started hearing the word democracy instead of republic. In school books, in magazines, this is done on purpose. There are huge differences between a democracy and a republic. In a republic, the chief rule of law is God, people, state, and then federal. Okay, this is a republic. To the republic for which it stands. Oops, that's supposed to be a P. Now, in a democracy, it's absolutely the opposite. It's federal, state, it's people, God bless you, and then God.
If it wasn't so serious about what's going on, it really would be pretty laughable. So now that tracks back to the even more secretive Council on Foreign Relations. This was formed in 1921 by a group of people that were including Colonel House, who was the right-hand man, shadow to Woodrow Wilson. And their whole avowed purpose was to educate the American public on the desirability of global government. And why did they feel like they had to do that? Because they had already made their first attempt, the League of Nations. Okay? But it didn't work. Why? Because the Senate of the United States said, I'm not sure we're ready to give up our national sovereignty. How many times have you heard the politicians in the last year or two talk about sovereignty? They don't talk about it, do they? For that matter, when's the last time you heard a national politician refer to the republic? They don't talk about that much either, do they? And while we're here, let's stop and briefly and let's explain what I'm talking about here. Oh, all they talk about is democracy. Democracy. God save democracy. We love democracy. The terrorists hate democracy. Well, what is democracy? Democracy is ruled by the majority. What's the primary example of democracy in action? A lynch mob. Okay? Everybody says lynch him, so they do. Folks, this is not what we were handed by our ancestors. This was never intended to be a pure democracy. What we are supposed to have in this country, with its Constitution, its Bill of Rights, is a democratic republic. Now, what's the difference? In a pure democracy, the lynch mob. Lynch him, okay? You string him up. In a democratic republic, you have to go through a system of laws, checks and balances, courtroom procedure. You have to give the guy a fair trial. There are certain procedures and laws that you have to follow. He has the right to meet his accuser. He has the right to defense. He has the right to cross-examine the evidence and the witnesses against him. And then if he's found guilty, then you can hang him. It really is amazing to me, because if Osama bin Laden was indeed behind the 9/11 attacks, and there's still been no real proof that he is, but if he was, and if his goal was to destroy a democracy and to end our freedoms, he succeeded, hadn't he? But we know that some bearded guy over in a cave somewhere is not responsible for everything that's going on in the world today.
Here at the bottom, I'll call your attention to that bottom sentences. It says, it is plain that Washington believed the center of the secret conspiracy so far this country was concerned to be located in New York. New York, the Empire State. This is where all of the fascist, Nazi, communistic dirt of the world is being drummed up against the American Republic. New York is the home of subversion for the world. Something needs to be done about the secret societies and the criminal associations operating in the media, television, motion pictures, operating from the home office of New York, the Empire State.